Good evening, everyone. So we are at the day 3 of a 15 days basics in Python programming course. So today we'll be starting with lists. So let me just ask you people, what is list? So in general, you'll be using the word list in your day-to-day life, right? So if you want to mention set of things, or even if you want to buy your household things, you'll just make a list, right? So list is nothing but a set of collection of things or objects or characters, right? So what basically list refers in Python is a collection of data types, whether it may be string, character, anything, whatever it may be. It's a collection of things. Okay, so in this session we'll just start it with how to create a list. Then we just move on to indexing and slicing list. Then we'll just move on to basic list method, next nesting list, and then we'll just end up the list with introducing some list comprehensions, right? So list or ordered sequence that can hold a variety of object types. Whether if you have a string or a character or an integer, it doesn't matter. It's just a collection of data types. Okay. So basically, if you see, a list will be starting using square braces. Okay, so we'll be starting while we are starting our list, we'll be using square braces ending with the square braces. Okay, so we'll be differentiating, or we'll be separate each object in the list using commas. Okay, so the next thing is list also supports indexing and slicing. Okay, so we just can see, we can just list a set of things. Okay, and then we can just slice it things. Okay, so what is let's just move on to the things. While we just move on to the Python environment, we just know about what is meant by indexing and slicing. Okay, so as other than this, list can be also be nested. So nested in the sense I can add things to my list. Like I have, if I have a set of lists, if I want to add some more data or some more objects into my list, I can add, right? So let's see some exercise. We'll just move on to our notebook, so that we'll just do some exercise. Okay, so let me create a new notebook. Okay, yeah, so let me start with creating a list. Okay, so let me start my list. I'll just name a list. Okay, so as we saw yesterday, we are not supposed to use space. Instead I use underscore. Okay, so my list, I'm just naming my list with a variable called my list. Okay, my list, I should open square braces, right? Square braces, I just include some objects like 1, 2, 3. I differentiated, like I separated each object using commas. Okay, I'll just run it. Okay, so my lists get updated. So if I just check my underscore list and run that, I just get my list. Okay, not only integer, I can just assign any objects inside my list. Let me show another thing. I'll update this list, my underscore list, to have 1, 2, and then we'll add some characters or string. Okay, so let me add alphabet. Okay, so if you want to add a string, you are supposed to use in single colon and double colon, right? So let me use here alphabet. Okay, so if I use like this, if I write 1 inside this thing, what is that? Is this an integer or an string? So we just saw, right? So if at all you write anything inside that colons, it just means like it is a string. Okay, so I'll run this. Yeah, I'm just getting an error. Why I'm getting an error? See, here is just say list included must be integer or slicing, not tuples. So from this error, we just see A list indices must be integers or slices, not tuples. So here comes a new word, tuple. What is tuple? So we'll just move on to tuple in the next in our session. So what is the error here? So if I just look out, it just say a list must be integer or slices. So here I just mentioned my list into, right? So I just didn't use equal to. So I just got an error. Okay, if I just update my list again, it's get updated, and if I can write my underscore list, okay, if I run that, my list is getting updated, right? So let me count how many elements in my list. Okay, so I just count using the formula len operator. So len my underscore list. Okay, if I run that, I just get 4. So I have 4 objects in my list. Okay, so this is what basically a list is a collection of objects, whether it may be integer, float, or strings, character, anything it may be. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next thing, which is indexing and slicing a list. So I'll just update my list equal to square braces of, I'll just write 1 and then I'll use comma 2 and then comma and then 3 comma and then let me write it in integer 4 and then 5. Okay, so I have 5 elements in my list. The first 3 are strings and the rest 2 are integers. So if I want to grab the first thing, we just saw yesterday, right? Let me update my list. We just saw yesterday, right? From a set of things, how to grab or how to index a particular element. The same way. So I just mentioned my underscore list and I say in square braces 0, which means the first element, right? So if I run that, I just get my first element here. Okay, so if I write in the same manner my underscore list minus 1, if I run that, I just get my last. From last I get the first number, right? So if this is for indexing. If I just write my underscore list 1, it will just grab me the second element. My underscore list 2, it just grab me the third element. Okay, so this is what we call as indexing. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next topic, which is slicing. What is meant by slicing? We just saw yesterday, right? So if I want to slice the first element and I just want to make this a list to have only 4 elements, right? What I'm supposed to do? I'll slice it. So what it will be my syntax? My underscore list, I'll just mention my variable name. I just open square braces 1, right? So what does it means? So you just start from second element. 1 represents second element, right? So just start me from second element. If I run that, so it just left the first element, that is 0. From 1 onwards it's got printed, right? So I can just say, I just see here, okay, I just use that colons after the 1, right? So if I just use, see, if I just make my thing, my list, and then open braces, I just give 2 and colons. Okay, so what I'm getting here, see, 2 means third thing, right? So 2 and then double that colons means from third element onwards print. Okay, so if I do in this way, my underscore list square braces colons and 2, sorry, 2, what does this mean? What does it do? Just see. So it just prints me the value before that element. So before third element, what and all are there? So just it's print that. So this colon matters. If you just print it beyond that, it just print from that onwards. It just, if it is before that number, it prints before the elements, like what and all elements are there in the list before that. Okay. So even this arrangement, like arrangement of syntaxes matter, right? So let me try to add another element in my list. Okay, so I'll just add my underscore list. I have a list, my underscore list, that's variable name, plus I'll just add another item. So it's use square braces, and then I'll add 6. Okay, so I'll add 6. If I just run that, so I'll get 1 2 3 4 5, which was my list, and then I got added with another element 6. So I just said, right, yesterday I was saying you people, this is a temporary command line. If I write again my underscore list, it will just fetch me the original list. See, we just saw Python is a dynamic writing and then interpreter language, right? So it just run this command and just added this, but it doesn't get any changes in my list. Okay, if I want to add anything permanently, like if I want to add that 6 permanently, what we are supposed to do? We want to reassign the list. So I'll just reassign the list, my underscore list, reassign it as my underscore list plus 6. So the entire list got reassigned. If I run and if I check my underscore list, so it's got permanently added, right? Right. So this is like, it's just a temporary command or temporary syntax for the Python interpreter to do. If you want to change the entire list, you want to reassign it again, okay, like this. Okay, the very next thing, what are you going to see? Yesterday we just saw, right, we had a set of characters, and if you want to multiply it or you want to duplicate it, what we did, we just multiplied it for number, right? The same way we can just multiply or duplicate list. I'll just duplicate this list twice. So my list is my set of lists. I'll just multiply it by 2. So what I'm getting, so I just duplicated my list one more time. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then one more time, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so I duplicated it twice. Okay, so this is, see, all syntax are simpler. Like, it is, if you want to double a thing, you can just double it. If you want to double a list, you can double this, right? So if I just use my underscore list, what it will be the answer? Either I will get a set of 1 values or set of 2 values. I'll just get this or I'll get this. Yes, obviously I'll be getting this, right? Because we didn't reassign that. If we just reassign, like my underscore list is equal to my underscore list into 2, it just get updated. And if I write like under that, what is that means, it will just give me a, sorry, my underscore list, I just wrote link, okay, list. Okay, so if I update that, I just get twice. Okay, so we just saw, right, when we will get temporary change, if you want to do permanent change, we should reassign, right? We just got a difference out of that, right? So the next thing what we're going to see is basic list functions. So what is basic list functions? So if you want to If you're familiar with another programming languages, you might start to draw parallel between arrays in one another languages and list in Python. Lists in Python, however, tend to be more flexible than arrays in other languages. See, they have no fixed size. Okay, this what is it? Python lists have no fixed size. Okay, which means we don't have to specify how big a list will be. Instead, if you go to C or C++, you just want to mention 20 or 30 based on the character size or integer size you want to mention, right? So here that problem is not there. Okay, so let me create that list again. List 1 to be what I can write. Let be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 3 elements in my list 1. Okay, so I just going to use a function. See, you just see list 1. I just write list 1 dot append, and I'm writing signature. Okay, so what this does, okay, so if I run that, just get this. Okay, so if I just show my thing, either I can use something called reassign to add things in my list, or I can use append to add elements in my list. So in both way, I can just get the same work to be done, right? So the first thing is we'll just use reassign, and we'll reassign the thing. And the second thing is we can just use list one append another element, right? So we just saw indexing also, right? We just saw my list 0 means first element it will come, right? In the similar manner, let me just use another function, list in list 1. Okay, pop me 0. So I can use indexing like list 1 0. If I just use list 1 0, it gets me 2, and if I use list 1 pop 0, I'm just seeing 1. What is the difference actually means? So what I did is I just popped out that value. So when I do that, it's just showing 1, right? So see my list now. So if I see my list, it just removed that value, it just subtracted, it just thrown away that value. So it just thrown. So when we gave that first value, then so the first value of this updated list is 2, so only we got 2, right? So how to remove an object from an list? We are supposed to use a pop operator. Okay, so we can see what is the popped item. So let me just see, let me use POPPD underscore item. Okay, popped item is equal to list 1 dot pop. Okay, so pop underscore item. So what I did here, so I just popped an item from list and a pop 0. So if I just enter this, my signature value got popped out. Why? Okay, so if we didn't mention anything here, what it does is by default it will index -1. -1 in the sense last element, from last first element, right? So it will just take this out. So when we ask which element you popped out, so it is just say signature. Instead I can write here 1, right? So if I write 1 and if I run that, and if I again run that, so it's popped me again 3. So 1 means this is 0 and this is 1. So if this element gets popped out, so what element I got popped out? First element, right? So if I didn't mention anything here, it will just automatically by default it will assign us -1, right? So -1 means from last first element. Okay, so this is what we use pop. Okay, so the very next thing, okay, so the very next thing will just show us, will just sort things, reverse things in the list. Okay, so let me update my list. Okay, new underscore list to be, sorry, new underscore list to be, I'll just add some elements, I'll just jumble things. Okay, so I'll use a z, sorry, z, and then h, okay, and then b, and then en. Okay, I have my set of alphabetical order. Some I have 1 2 3 4 5 letters. I said jumbled, it's not in an ascending or a descending order. Okay, so I'll update this list. Okay, now I'm just going to short. Okay, let me short it. Okay, uh, based on the ascending or descending order. Okay, so let me short it, new underscore list. So what function we are going to do? Short, right? So you don't want to memorize the operator, just you can just do the same thing, short. Short it. If I run that, so shorted my list. So again, if I see my list, new underscore list, it's just sorted based on the alphabetical order, a b, and then c d e is not there, so h, n, and z. Okay, so I have an unsorted list. When I use the function dot sort, it just sorted me all the values based on their orders, right? In the same way, I can reverse the function new underscore list dot reverse. If I revise, what will happen? Just run it and let me see my list again. I just, my entire list got reversed. Last element became first, then n again, h, b, and then e. It just reversed, right? So we'll move on to nesting list. So what is in by nesting? You people can answer what is in by nesting? See, nesting in general, nesting means you, if you have some objects, if you want to add the same object to the inside that object, or different object to that object, like concatenate we'll be using, right? If I want to add something to existing object, we'll call as nesting. See, this is what to say, it's some special feature that Python has. Okay, if in considering list, we can add one more list inside a list. So let me just show you. Okay, so I have, let me have list 1 to b. I have a set of values from 1 comma 2 comma 3. So in list 1 I have 1 2 3. In list, sorry, list underscore 2 I have 4 comma 5 comma 6. Okay, in list 3, sorry, I have 7 comma 8 comma 9. So I have 3 lists here, right? So what I'm going to do, I just going to nest all these 3 lists inside a single list. So what I'm going to do, see here, say I just make another list. Let me just say uh, matrix. Okay, so I'll create a matrix or something. It's just a variable name, you can assign anything. Okay, so instead I can just write alphabet. Okay, let alphabet be the nesting of everything, right? So alphabet is equal to, I'll just say list underscore 1. Okay, and then list underscore 2, list underscore 3. People might be asking, we are not using integer here, so we are supposed to use single we just want to insert into some semicolons, or we just want to use it as strings or something like that. So my answer is no. If you use that, it will just print you the value like list 1, list 2, list 3. Not, it won't consider these values. Okay, so if we don't want to use anything, you just, if you write that, if you run this command, just get. So if I check what is the value of alphabet, if I run that, sorry, a l p h i t, okay, if I run that, I get a list. I get a list. In that I have three lists. I have nested three lists inside a single list. So now if I want to index, okay, just keenly observe this. If I want to index, how to index? In my alphabet, I have how many elements? I have only three elements. List 1, list 2, list 3. In that list 1, I have how many elements? Three elements. So how you should see? So if I write alphabet, that if I index first number, means first element, what I will get? The entire list. First, this is to be that list 1 is the first element, right? So it get popped out. So if I want to choose in particular the number 1, what I supposed to do? In alphabet, in first element, in that list, again I want to choose the first element, right? So I just say in alphabet, go to first element. So in first element, what is fetched? It's fetched me a set of result. So in that also I just want the first element, right? So again I write 0. So if I run that, so I get that value 1, right? So what I'm supposed to do, see here, I just write alphabet in the, if I write like this, which element will be popped out? So I just write alphabet. In alphabet, 1 means second element means list 2, right? In that 2 means third element, which is 6. So if I write that, I get the value 6, right? So the very next thing what you're gonna see is list comprehensions. So what is meant by list comprehensions? List comprehension, if I say that word, it is just a shortcut. Okay, so what I did now, I just mentioned a variable and then I just mentioned the set of elements, right? So the list comprehension is nothing but it is just a form of shortcut or something makes you use easier to make your or to build your list. Okay, so for example, I just show you. Okay, so we have an alphabet here, right? So the alphabet, we have three lists, right? So I'll just create another list. Okay, I considering or composing the first elements of all the lists. Okay, so I'll just, what I'm going to do, let me just build first underscore column to be, I'm building a list, right? So I'll just use square braces. Okay, so row of 0 just fetch me the rows of every first element. Okay, so that will be my list objects. So for rows, which element I should refer? So I should refer in alphabet. Okay, if I run that, it just update me. So if I see what is that first underscore column. Okay, so see, it just takes all elements first elements from the three lists 1, 4 and 7. If I again write this as 1, it just built me another list taking all the second objects from the list. So if I run that, and if I again run this, so it's 2, 5, 8. It's like we just made a loop. We'll be just see. You don't worry if you don't completely understand this session, in particular list comprehension. Okay, so when we come to loops, while we are studying that, we'll just make a big knowledge on this. So don't worry about this. If you are clear about what is a list, how to make lists, how to add things, how to remove things, how to index list, how to slice list, and then how to make nestings a list, it's all fine. Okay, so next we'll just move on to the next topic, which is dictionary. Okay, so which is dictionary. So what is dictionary basically all about? Okay, so in general, dictionary is a set of reference tool or something. If you don't understand anything, you just you'll just get your dictionary and you'll just refer it, right? The same things apply here. So dictionary is like a set of variables have some certain values. We'll be assigning some values to certain variables. Okay, so in dictionary, what we'll be seeing is how to construct a dictionary, how to access objects from a dictionary, then how to nest dictionaries, and then basic dictionaries method. Okay, so as I said, dictionaries are unordered mappings for storing objects. Okay, previously we saw how list store objects in an ordered sequence. We just shorted it, right? So dictionaries use a key value pairing instead. So just remember this word, which is the main or the key word for the word dictionary. Okay, so dictionaries are something, but it's a key value pairing instead. Okay, so this key value pairing allows user to quickly grab objects without needing to know any index location. Okay, so if I just have 1,000 elements in my list, I just want to know at what place the exact object is so that I can list it. I can just take it out, right? I can just index it. So if I have my letter F to be at 144th place, I just want to count everything 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. I just want to find it out which place actually it is. Then I just want to write my list in that. If it is in 144th place, we should write 143, right? So if I just write that, it will pick me that out, right? But in dictionary, we'll be assigning some equivalent key value pairs which will allow us to pick the same elements without indexing it. Okay, so we just saw what is key dictionary is all about key pairing, right? So in general, we'll be writing some keys, and for that keys we'll be assigning some values. Okay, so this is the first object in a dictionary. So we have a key element and then a value for that key element. So we have another key and then value for that key. So here comes the question, when do you choose a list and when do you choose a dictionary? Okay, so dictionaries in where objects retrieved by key name, we just saw here, right? I don't want to mention which place actually it is located or something. If I just write the, or if I just mention this key, the corresponding value will be displayed, or it will be get interpreted, right? So in list dot is something like, if you know the exact location, is like my object is in 5th place. So like that, if you have exact location, then you can just use the list. Okay. The other thing is list, you can just short it down, but dictionary you can't just short it down, right? So we'll do some exercise in dictionary. Okay. Okay. Dictionary, right? So first we'll start with how to construct a dictionary. Okay, for list we use square bracket, right? Here I'll just create a dictionary. Let it be let it be my underscore dictionary is equal to what I'm supposed to do here. For list, what we did, for list we use square, right? So here parenthesis or the flower brace. Okay, so I'll just write my key 1. What is my key 1's value? Let it be 500. Okay, sorry, my key 1's value is 500. Okay, so I have my another key be key 2 whose value is supposed to be 1000. I have, let me have another key, okay, key 3, okay, key 3 b. Now I'll take a list. Okay, so let me have a list. So in that list I have apple. Let me write everything in small. Apple, and then sorry, mango, and then uh, jackfruit. Okay, so I have in my dictionary I have 3 keys. Okay, so first key value is 500, second 3 values 1000, and third key value is, I have a list. In that list I have 3 elements, right? If I run that, my dictionary is get updated. So if I want to see if I have a list, I'll just mention like this, right? So my underscore list fetch me the first value, like that I'll be just doing, right? In here what I'm doing that, see, if I want to I just don't want to mention any location. I just can write my dictionary. In that dictionary, get me the value of, okay, get me the value of key 3. I don't want to mention, I don't want to know which element it is actually or where it is located in my dictionary. I just write my keyword so that the value, corresponding values get popped out. So instead, if I want to, in particular, I want to select apple, what I'm supposed to do? We want to follow the path, right? So my underscore dictionary, that key element, third key, okay, key 3, if I run that, I'll just get the entire list, right? In that I want first, so I can just choose first, which fetch me the apple, right? So people might ask, okay, so if I want to update my dictionary, so everyone will be getting doubt. Okay, I have everything in small. If I can want to update the thing, everything capital, what I'm supposed to do? We just saw yesterday, right? I'll just tell you, right? My underscore dictionary, in that key 3, key 3, in that first element, make everything in uppercase. So what I'm supposed to do, so I just write upper, sorry, dot upper. Okay, if I write that this, so the entire string or the entire value gets in upper cases. The same thing if you just write dot lower and then you use a braces, you will get everything in a lowercase, right? Even I can just, if I use this key 1, I can get the values of 500. I can just say what do I say, I can just use some program also, like just what is the price of gold, means I can just write 5 times of key 1, so which runs 5 into 500. Okay, I can just use it in my program or something like that. Okay, so the next things comes. Okay, so here is the trick. So I just write, if I write my underscore dictionary, okay, and if I mention key 1, what will be my answer? So I'll get 500, right? So if I write the same thing, my underscore dictionary, okay, that key 1, I'm going to reassign the value. Okay, what we'll be doing, if we want to reassign the value, we'll just write is equal to, if I write here, and then what will be my value here? If I write my dictionary key 1 minus 10, I'm writing 10, or let it be 100. Okay, so what will be the answer? For your convenience, like I'll just see what will be the answer. So if I run that, it just get updated, and if I see my, let me just paste it. What is the value? 400. So I just said, right, I assume like this also. My dictionary is equal to my dictionary into 2. So what is the value of that? So it is 800. So I just, instead of doing like that, I just call the value from the dictionary, and I just made this entire program done. Right? Instead, you can just make a dictionary out of it, like you have a set of pre-defined values, right? So if you take some mathematical calculation, you will from your question, you will be having some predefined data, right? Suppose I have some values to be A, B, C, D, B, like value. That means when you come to the solution part, you'll just have a formula, right? A is equal to B plus C or something like that. You don't want to refer every time what is A, what is B, like that. You can just make a dictionary, and you can just sort it out based on that. Okay, so apart from this, what we can do with dictionary? Okay, so I'll just do another thing, right? I'll just tell you the other way to create a dictionary. Okay, so let me just start with the, let me say new underscore dictionary. I'll just create a new dictionary, which is equal to, I'll just open parenthesis, sorry, parenthesis, I find run. Okay, I created another dictionary called new dictionary, in which I don't have any elements. If I want to add, okay, if I want to add some elements, okay, what I'm supposed to do? Either I can just say I can add key 1 to be some value. Okay, instead I can just do, see what I'm doing. I just say in my new dictionary, create me a, let me move my cursor, create me a variable name or a key name animal. Okay, so I'll just create a variable name animal. For that value animal, I just want to give some value, right? So for that, I just want to give a value dog. Okay, so if you consider a dictionary, it should have some key values, and corresponding we should have some values, right? So for that, I'm just giving animal for that corresponding value to be dog. Okay, so if I run that, okay, it's just updated in my dictionary. I'll just add another one more thing, new underscore dictionary. I just add another thing, food. Okay, that I have food to be pizza. Okay, so if I again update it, yeah, it's get updated. So if I just see my new dictionary, what are the elements I have? So I have a key, first key to be animal, whose corresponding value to be dog, and then the second key to be food, and this corresponding value to be pizza, right? So this is the other way of creating, like if you want to update another elements into my corresponding list, I can use this way, right? Or else I can just create a new dictionary like that. So we just saw the two different way of creating a dictionary. So the very next thing is nesting a dictionary. So what is nesting? We just saw in before, right? We just in list, we just nested another list. In the same way, I just can nest a multiple dictionaries inside a single dictionary. I don't want to mess up you people. Okay, I'll just give you a small example and just we'll move on. Okay, let me have a dictionary. Okay, uh, let me create a dictionary called D. Okay, let it be fine. So I'll just open parenthesis. Okay, so first key 1, whose value is another dictionary. Key 1's value is comes under another dictionary, so I'll add another parenthesis. Okay, wherein I have the key of the second thing to be nest key. Okay, whose value whose value comes again another list. So let it be like this. So whose value to be king. Okay, I'll just write king. Okay, so what I have here, I have a dictionary here. Inside for this keyword I have another dictionary. Okay, so I just injected or I just concatenated a dictionary inside another dictionary. Okay, so if I just look it out, okay, if I just see what is the dictionary of key 1, so what is will be my dictionary of key 1? So my dictionary of key 1 is these values. I have a dictionary values. So again, if I see dictionary of key 1, inside that what is the dictionary value of key 2? So I'll just write nest key. Okay, if I run that, I'll just get the corresponding value. If I just refer this value or this key, it has two values, like it has a dictionary value, so it pops out that. If I just move on to this, whose value is king, so I just got king, right? So let me just finish off with another example so that you people let me copy it down without wasting much time. Okay, so I just assign another dictionary, my dictionary to be, I have value to be 1, and then here value to be 2, and then here value to be 3. So I have 3 elements, 3 lists, sorry, 3 keys in my dictionary. So which is first one is key 1, second one is key 2, and third one is key 3, and those have corresponding values 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I just run it, I just update it. Okay, so I just going to introduce a method, okay, to return a list of all keys. I just want to convert, see, I have a library, or sorry, I have a dictionary. Okay, so in that dictionary I have a set of words. For that set of words I have corresponding values. Okay, so I have set of words key 1, key 2, key 3, right? For that I have values too. So if I want to get what and all uh, objects I have, means I have key 1, key 2, key 3, right? So what and all objects I have in my dictionary, if I want to know, I'll just create a list. So let me create a list. Okay, my dictionary, which is the variable name underscore, or else I'll just show you how to create a list. Okay, all the keys. Okay, I'll just use dot keys. So what is mean by that? What is mean by that? So it just return a list of all keys. Okay, if we just run that, so my dictionary has this set of elements inside it. So I just grabbed out the list, right? If I want to grab the values of the corresponding things, I will use d dot, sorry, my list, my dictionary dot values. Get me the values in the dictionary. Run that. So what is my value is 1, 2, and 3, right? So it just popped me a list stating that these are your values. So if I want to take it combinedly, so I just want to take the keys and also the values, what I will be doing, I'll just select individual items, right? So I'll just say my dictionary, which is my variable, right? Dot, what are the items? Fetch me the items. Okay, if I do that, so it just pops me the dictionary items have set of 3 items, which is key 1 whose value is 1, key 2 value is 2, and key 3 value is 3, right? This is what actually a dictionary. You just, as of now, you just might understood what is a dictionary, what is a list, right? So you just practice it down. I'll just share you the course or supporting material so that it will be listed everything perfectly. If you have any doubts, you can just refer to that, or else you can comment down so that I can just help you out. Okay, so I'll just wait for another 10 more minutes so that if you people have any doubts, we can just sit and sort it out. Else it's fine, we can just move on. Since this is a weekend, we'll just have our next class on Monday. Okay, so we'll be having a class from Monday to Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, yeah guys, I'll just wait for 10 more minutes so that if you want to ask any doubts or something, you just can ask. I'll just enable the chat. Okay, so let me stop my screen.